stranded 11.
That ball's hit well, center field. Back is Slater, out of room. Two-run home run. Will rebound in front, Everly over the net. Stevenson can fly over the blue line. Late developing 3-on-2. Pacioretty, score!
And welcome to Interesting to See, your daily sports podcast about news, narratives, takes, and some gambling, maybe some fantasy in there as well. I'm Nick. Today we're going to talk about baseball, and we're going to talk about football, and we're going to talk about some other stuff. Texas is stupid, but we're going to start today with the NHL being back and me being so angry with them. I should Google this, but I'm not going to. So the NHL season started last night, and it started with the Lightning versus the Penguins. I believe that the Stanley Cup champion should have the night to themselves. I think that's a good way to go about it. The NHL disagrees. 2 games last night. The Vegas Knights, as you saw right there, Max Pacioretty scored for the Knights. The Knights win 3-4 over the Seattle Kraken. Why would we not try to find a way to get the Kraken at home to open the season? Or give the Lightning the night to themselves. They won the Stanley Cup. Why would we do that? Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. It doesn't look good. The Penguins, they go up 3-0 on the Lightning with 6 minutes left. Head coach John Cooper pulls the goalie. They get a goal. Then they immediately give up a bunch, so it was 6-2, but the game was really 3-0. Lightning are hungover. I think the end of the dynasty is nigh for sure. So we're going to get into some preseason stuff for hockey down the road, but we're going to start with some football stuff. Yesterday was press conference day for some reason. All of the good quotes came out of Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday is the day off in the NFL. No one is allowed, quote unquote, to be on campus. So Ron Rivera said this about the Washington football team, because everybody says that their defense was going to be good. Do you know why they said that? Heading into the season, why would Washington's defense be good? Because they're all back and they were really good. So theoretically, you're like, well, just do what you did last year. However, this year, they're trash, despite having elite talent almost everywhere. Ron Rivera then said this yesterday, quote, I mean, you almost want to say, man, I wish 7-9 last year wouldn't have been good enough to win the division. That way the expectations would have been much lower and been a little bit easier, he said, continuing, quote, this is hard. This is the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be hard. It's because it's the only way you learn. So he's saying like, hey, we're not as good as we were last year. 7-9 might have been, for a normal team, that might have been a step forward, and maybe we're trying to get to 8-8, which I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, he seemed pretty pumped to be in the playoffs last year. I mean, I don't know what you want me to do with that. Jeff Fisher is in the news having to clarify some things after all the John Gruden crap came out about his bigotry and his hate, and just like literally just being essentially the exact thing that all of the snowflakes complain about on CNN. It turns out that's true about John Gruden, one of which was insinuating that the NFL, using some poor, offensive, awful language, John Gruden insinuated that the NFL stepped in and forced the St. Louis Rams to draft Michael Sam. It was suspicious at the time because they didn't need him and because they had one of the best defensive lines ever, including like Hall of Famers, multiple, and he is from Missouri, so it makes sense or whatever. I forget what round he was drafted in, and it doesn't matter. It was 6 or 7. He was drafted late enough for it to be like, you know, it's unlikely that you're going to have a great NFL career once you get past like the 3rd round. It's just, you know, it'd be tough. So Jeff Fisher had to come out and clarify why they drafted Michael Sam. And for those of us that know football and are really into draft stuff, he was drafted exactly where he should have been. He was given multiple contracts. He's what's called a tweener in the NFL, which means you're too small to be this position, you're too big to be that position. Maybe you figure it out, but you probably don't. So Jeff Fisher's statement said the following, quote, Michael Sam was the SEC Co-Defensive Player of the Year in 2013. I can co-sign that. I saw him play in person, and he was a great college football player. We selected him in the 2014 NFL Draft based on his defensive production and pass rush skill set on the field, which was great. He was just a little short and a little light. As a head coach for over 20 years, we drafted or didn't draft players based on a variety of qualities. Their sexual orientation would never and should never play a part in the decision-making process. I continue to support Michael in his decision to come out as the first draft-eligible openly gay player in the league. It took courage to serve as a role model for those competitive football players who might also happen to be gay. Lastly, the NFL never encouraged or discouraged me regarding the selection of a potential prospect. And Jeff Fisher, who's been doing quite a bit of podcasts on a circuit in the past couple of years, has no problem trashing and exposing the National Football League in any circumstance whatsoever. So I completely buy that. And yeah, Michael Sam, he was an elite college football player, but he's just a little short to be a DN and a little big to be like an outside linebacker who can cover. Just, it happens. Sometimes bodies are tweeners, man. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Could have covered this. This was not something that we had time for when we were doing football stuff, but every year, the Philadelphia Eagles, who are the best professional football fan base in the world, they, as a unit, as Philadelphians, they look at the Eagles' schedule and they all find a road destination where they kind of get together and they travel. Oftentimes, it won't be a division game. Like, nobody wants to go to Dallas. Nobody wants to go to New York. So they'll look at a place that looks like a fun place to get away, and then they all do it. And they kind of take the stadium over. This year, it was Charlotte. In the past, it's been San Diego, it's been LA, it's been Nashville. They've done Minnesota. It's just like a thing that they all kind of do. Like, hey, which Eagles game would be fun to go to? We'll make it a little family trip. This year it was Charlotte. The videos that came out of it were incredible. They took the stadium over after they had won in a big comeback fashion. But if you are a TikTok user, you might find a viral video of Charlotte police having to break up what looks like what should we call canoodling in a bathroom stall at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte between two drunk Eagles fans, and the look on their face, man, they were making out in class. It was just ridiculous. I wouldn't put him in my cop car without immediately, like, STD test and then get the results and then put them in your car. That bathroom looks disgusting. It's a men's bathroom, by the way. Disgusting. It looks unbelievable, and they look so drunk. God, it's just so funny. Oh man, but they took it over, and I guess it's kind of hilarious. All right, I guess we should move to some baseball. I said we'd do baseball. We're going to do baseball. The Astros are being accused of cheating again. Accused of cheating again by the Chicago White Sox. I too would accuse them of cheating because you're getting your ass whipped, I think. Houston won the series against the Chicago White Sox, who were my pick to win the World Series. They win the game 10-1. Lance Lynn did not pitch well multiple times. But then the Astros manager, Dusty Baker, suggested, like, hey, well, the same statistics that Tony La Russa, the manager for the White Sox, used to suggest that the Astros were cheating, Dusty Baker, who can read stat sheets, said, like, well, they have a similar advantage when they're at home. And everyone was like, oh, nice. That's all you had to do is say, nuh-uh, you're cheating. Duh, that's all you have to do. Look, they're cheating. They're obviously cheating. They're all cheating. Everybody is. I mean, like, I don't know how much news you have to watch. They're cheating. Everybody's cheating. It's happening. Do you think Tom Brady's jawline just got better and he gets younger and he's all of a sudden more athletic at 43? No. I mean, at a certain point, we have to start asking questions about all of them, right? The Dodgers beat the Giants. That was part of the highlight from the Open last night. It's a great series. They are statistically, according to like facts, the two best teams in Major League Baseball. They've won the most games. They have the best run differential. They have the two best players or whatever. The Giants are doing it with a bunch of guys who are just playing out of their minds, which they seem to do like every 2 or 3 years. They just seem to be better than everyone. And it is really effing annoying. I have no idea how they do that. The Dodgers have like a literal all-star team, and that series is now tied 2-2. The Dodgers win 7-2, and the series will go back to San Francisco. The Dodgers looking to repeat as World Series champions. The Red Sox, it appears to be their year. It's going to be a hate-filled series between the Red Sox and the Astros, and I'm going to mentally check out. I've been going in and out on baseball, but I like chaos, and this is not chaos. The good teams being good. Boston people are annoying. And then it's the Dodgers and the Giants. The Brewers fall to the Atlanta Braves. The Braves are kind of back. They're going to be in the National League. Wait. Atlanta wins 3-1. Okay. So I see what's going on. I was like, they haven't advanced the Braves in the bracket. But, yeah. So the Braves, they advance. But we don't know if they're going to be hosting a series in Atlanta as the home field team or if they will be on the road. So if the Giants win, they'll have home field advantage. If the Dodgers win, the Brewers will have home field advantage. All right, let's go to the National Hockey League preview. Last night, the NHL started. Like I said, Tampa and Vegas, they should have waited a month. Like, I'm not going to get off of this. I don't understand. Like, do you really, like, you're just setting money on fire. If people are going to play on Thursday, they're not going to watch. They're going to play on Saturday. No one's going to watch. Like, I can understand. At least Canada, at least NHL has Canada, but the NBA, you have no excuse. I don't get it. I don't understand. But whatever. I'll get off of this. Let's look at who's favored on some stuff. The team that's favored, we mentioned it earlier, but we'll get into it now. The Colorado Avalanche, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Vegas Golden Knights are the heavy favorites to win the Stanley Cup. After that, there's a group of people who are like, oh yeah, I guess it wouldn't be that weird if they won. Toronto, Boston, Florida, New York, Dallas, et cetera, then everybody else is after that. The Kraken right there in the middle of the bottom. They are setting up to the Kraken, according to all of the nerds, they set up to be in year 4 or 5 of a rebuild so that they have a couple years to go before they're good, which probably pretty smart. Hart Trophy favorite is Connor McDavid because he's the best player in the world, followed by Nathan McKinnon of the Avalanche, Austin Matthews of the Leafs, Wings, whatever. Nikita Kucherov of the Lightning, David Pastrnak of the Bruins. These are all pretty good picks. If I were going to pick a bet, the best odds are Patrick Kane for the Chicago Blackhawks. They made some big moves, including trading for Seth Jones, I think the fastest player in the world. He's plus 2,000. It's pretty good, 200 to 1. I like him. He's a really great player. He had a great year. They're always good, and they're going to be significantly better than they've been for a long time. The Art Ross Trophy, which I forget, what is that even for? I literally don't know. Calder Trophy, this is for the Rookie of the Year. Moritz Seider for the Detroit Red Wings is plus 600. Cole Caulfield and Trevor Zegras, who were, I believe, of the 2020 draft, not 2021. They are heavy favorites, plus 150 and plus 175. Others that are interesting there, Lucas Raymond for the Red Wings, who are my favorite team, full disclosure. He made the team unexpectedly as a rookie this year. He played him and Moritz Seider, and a lot of the guys on this list, they played in Sweden last year because what happens when you play internationally is you save a year on the contract of these players, so you get control for another year. Plus, with COVID, you're like, I just stay in Europe. No reason to come over here. The favorite to win the Jack Adams Trophy for Coach of the Year is Dean Evason, the new coach at Minnesota, followed by John Cooper. John Cooper has been bet that highly. He's not going to win it. Bruce Cassidy at Boston, that's another big bet. The NHL is far, far ahead of other sports leagues when it comes to the awarding of this trophy, because for a long time, it's been, in other leagues, it's been the coach that has exceeded expectations with a team that's good. So instead of awarding a team that, say, exceeded expectations, compared to what everybody, or like got the team to play significantly better than the sum of their parts, in the NHL, that's what they do. So, for example, if a team like the Flyers were to get the number 1 seed, that guy would win. If a team that, like the Kraken, were to make the playoffs, like that guy would win. So these guys being favored, that's clearly just the public betting them up. A couple other trophies. The Vezina Trophy favorite is Andrei Vasilevsky. He's the best goalie in hockey, but the kind of counterintuitive to the Coach of the Year trophy for the NHL, the Vezina Trophy has become sort of like a lifetime achievement award. Marc-Andre Fleury won it last year. Andrei Vasilevsky is the best goalie in hockey at this point in time. There are other people in there. Peter Mrazek for the Carolina. Wait, he plays for Florida now? Yeah, he plays for Florida. He's in there with some pretty good odds. Darcy Kemper, who's still in the league, kind of crazy. Robin Leonard of Vegas, he's in there as well. To be honest with you, I think the NHL is the only time that, because it's just a 1-point differential in a lot of these games, the NHL is a league that I stay away from preseason bets, except for like who will and won't make the playoffs. The Kraken make their home ice debut on October 23rd. I think this is what's going on. I saw this on Twitter, and I haven't verified it. It's happening with the Kraken. It's happening with the New York Islanders. I don't think that their arenas are done, and so they have to. I think the Islanders have like a 12-game road trip or something to start the season. The Kraken have like another couple of weeks on the road. If that's not the reason, and the NHL literally made them start the year on the road, that would be such an awful thing. But that's what's happening. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 road games before they play a home game. They have the Predators, the Blue Jackets, the Flyers, and the Devils. And then they will host 4 games in a row against the Canucks, the Canadiens, the Wild, and the Rangers. I will be tuning into that. Remember that the NHL on ESPN and TNT this year, which is kind of fascinating. We'll do NBA preview coming up next week. Kyrie Irving has been told by the Brooklyn Nets that he cannot practice with the team and he cannot play for the team if he does not get the COVID-19 vaccine. They are located in New York. So as a result of that, he's required to. Nobody knows what's going to happen. I suspect he's going to retire and that the Brooklyn Nets are not going to have to pay him. He did get into Duke University, allegedly, but man, he's acting like he has a PhD from Duke, and it's kind of funny to watch someone go off the rails like this. I feel bad for him, but I also don't. I mean, he's flat earther, he's attention whore. The funnier part is that Ben Simmons didn't tell the Sixers that he was ending his quote-unquote holdout, and he just showed up in Philly. Man, you want to see someone's tail between their legs. That Philly home opener is going to be rough. All right, that's it for the show today. I'll be back in better than ever tomorrow morning. Like, rate, review, subscribe, etc., etc.